I've always been drawn to this spiritual concept that life is a journey, not a destination. But if I'm being honest, there are times when I find myself stuck in the trenches of everyday life, wondering how my mundane tasks, entrepreneurial struggles, and my personal doubts could possibly be a part of my sacred journey. As the founder of Omni Mindfulness, I'm supposed to be the one guiding others on their path to inner peace and enlightenment. But what happens when I'm the one that's lost in the darkness? When anxiety creeps in and I start to question whether I'm truly living my purpose, I'm forced to confront the paradox that has puzzled spiritual seekers for centuries. How can we reconcile the spiritual ideals of living in the present moment with the harsh realities of our daily lives? Hi, I'm Shilpa Lewis, meditation life coach, authentic AI and social media strategist, and host of the Omni Mindfulness podcast. In this episode on Journey, during the season of pause, I invite you to join me as I explore this very question and share my own struggles and insights on how to integrate mindfulness, purpose, and presence into the ups and downs of everyday life. As I sit here recording this podcast, I'm reminded that this is my favorite way to connect with the people I'm meant to serve. It's a space where I can be myself, share my thoughts, and explore the complexities of life with like-minded individuals. As a meditation life coach and AI and social media consultant, I'm constantly learning and growing. And this podcast is my way of processing and reflecting on my own journey. On paper, I've got all the credentials: a bachelor's degree in software development and AI, a master's in human computer interaction, and various certifications to the boot. But despite my education, training, and experience, I've always struggled with imposter syndrome. In fact, I first learned about imposter syndrome as a concept when I was receiving my meditation life certification. And I thought, well, I've been meditating and I've been exposed to these principles of mindfulness my entire life. As I mentioned, I've got certifications that include yoga certification and a variety of other things that would align me with this lifestyle of what it means to be in the space of mindfulness. So, why would I feel imposter syndrome? It's as if I'm waiting for someone to tap me on my shoulder and say, "Hey, Shilpa, you're not supposed to be here. You're not qualified enough." To be honest, though, my life journey and professional journey hasn't always been linear, to say the least. I spent years getting an education, a master's in computer science. I spent years in corporate trying to fit into the mold of what was expected of me. But deep down, I knew I was meant for more. I felt like I was going against the grain, whether it was in trying to conform to the traditional expectations of my Hindu culture or navigating the politics of the corporate world. As I reflect on my journey, I'm reminded that one of the most important lessons I've learned is to trust the process. So let me break down the 3 lessons I've learned in this journey of life or this journey of being a solopreneur. One is to trust the process. As I reflect on my journey, I'm reminded that one of the most important lessons I've learned is to trust the process. This is a concept that's easy to intellectualize, but much harder to put into practice. In my personal meditation practice, I've come to realize that trust is essential. When I'm sitting in stillness, trying to quiet my mind, I need to trust that the process of meditation is working, that the methods and the techniques that I apply are designed so that it can do the work and I can let my monkey mind soften, perhaps even go in the background and become quiet while I do the work of practicing meditation. Even if I don't feel like I'm doing it right, the work is being done. It's a surrender of sorts, a willingness to let go of my needs for control and instead allow the present moment to unfold. The second lesson that I'm cultivating and accepting is accept that it's okay to make it up as you go. During my years of education, there was so much structure and the need to always be precise. And this carried on into working in the corporate world, where I used to think that I needed to have it all figured out. I used to think I needed to immediately transfer and demonstrate and prove my value based on that education. I needed to have a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, and clear roadmap for success as I ranked further and further up the corporate ladder. But the truth is, life doesn't work in that linear way. The best things in life are often the ones that we don't plan for. The unexpected twists and turns that lead us to where we need to be. In my solopreneur business, what I'm learning is to trust my intuition and make decisions based on what feels right rather than what I think I'm supposed to do. It's scary. Yes, it is scary, but it's also liberating. And it's also a path for creativity. When I let go of the need for perfection and instead focus on taking imperfect action, I'm able to move forward with more ease and confidence. The third lesson I'm really embracing is coming to a profound realization that the concept of destination is an illusion. The goalposts keep moving. And even when I think I've reached a milestone, I realize it's just a stepping stone to the next level. It's like trying to grasp a handful of sand. The harder I squeeze, the more it slips away through my fingers. And yet, I'm still drawn to the idea of success. I still have big goals and dreams to be in the top 1% of podcasts, to become a global speaker on authenticity and spirituality, to host evergreen workshops and courses that help soulful entrepreneurs expand their consciousness. But what if I told you that I'm starting to see that these goals are not the destination? What if the act of striving, the act of creating, the act of being is the destination itself? What if each moment, each breath is the only moment that truly exists? The now is the destination? Let's think about that one. In spiritual traditions, this concept is often referred to as being present or being in the now. It's the idea that the present moment is the only moment that truly exists and that everything else is just a mental construct. As a solopreneur, I'm learning to embody this concept. I'm learning to trust that the universe has my back and that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. I'm learning to let go of my attachment to specific outcomes and instead focus on the journey itself. So, to recap, as I reflect on my journey, I'm struck by the realization that all the skills, tools, and support I needed to become the future version of me have somehow become accessible. But it has always been up to me to recognize those opportunities and seize them. I think back to my university days when AI, artificial intelligence, was just beginning to be taught in my bachelor's program. I excelled in those classes. And just a few years later, I was trained and certified in course creation, long before technical course development skills became mainstream. I often kick myself for not going through and going deeper into those niche areas. But in hindsight, I see that those experiences were laying the foundation for the work I'm doing today. It's amazing how life works, isn't it? We can't always see the path ahead, but looking back, we can connect the dots. As Steve Jobs so eloquently put it, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. So you have to trust that those dots will somehow connect in your future. As I wrap up this episode on journey, I want to leave you with a sense of hope and possibility. I want to remind you that your journey, no matter how winding or uncertain it may seem, is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust the process, trust yourself, and trust that the universe has your back. If you're feeling stuck or uncertain about your own journey, I invite you to reach out to me. Click on the link in the show notes to schedule a strategic coaching session with me, and let's explore how we can work together to help you find your path. As I close this episode, I want to leave you with a quote from Rumi. The wound is the place where the light enters you. May you find the courage to trust your own journey. May you allow that light to enter your life in all its beauty and complexity. Okay, sweet souls, thank you for joining me on this journey. And let's continue to pause together. Thanks for tuning in, sweet soul. If you've enjoyed this episode, I would be so grateful for your kind review on Apple Podcast. Simply click on the link in the show notes to leave your lovely feedback and uplift our spirits. Your support means the world to me and helps our show thrive. So please show me your love and continue to practice Omni Mindfulness.